Something to consider as we go forward in this digital age is that the data, the YouTube videos that we just watch for free, the courses we take for free on YouTube, the websites we search, this information may not be available and easily findable for free forever online. Maybe put behind paywalls, it may be obscured by just nonsense, like just people looking to make a buck off of your lack of knowledge. So they just buy out search terms, put their websites up ahead. You don't know what to look for. So I'm personally creating my own archives and my own data storage to account for this so I can store lots of like videos. Like one thing I want to store is videos of world championship jiu-jitsu matches because they're not going to be up forever. Like world championship jiu-jitsu matches. I mean, it's crazy to me that I can just watch world championship fighting. Like imagine if I was some peasant boy in China and I was trying to figure out how to fight, and no one in my village knows how to fight, no one in the next village knows how to fight, no one knows how to fight. So I'm just walking around. I just see one day some guy getting a fight, and some dude just headlocks him out of nowhere. I'd be like, oh my god! Even though it's like a JV wrestling move, it's like if I can watch videos of world class fighters, the greatest fighters, some of the greatest fighters of all time, I can watch what they're doing, I can study it. That's very valuable. I download that. There's courses, maps of meaning. I want to use this to educate my children going forward. I'm not going to assume this is just always going to be out there. So I would encourage people to adopt the same approach. Like, don't just assume that all this data is going to be out there forever. There's plenty of PDFs that are online for free, but you won't be able to get access to those if they're get taken down. And people are constantly trying to take them down, then people put it back up. And I'm personally going to be forming my own little library. I would encourage other people to do the same thing. I just think about how valuable the information is that I'm using and how much I don't want that information lost and how much effort I'm putting into organizing that information anyway and finding it. And I was thinking about having all your tabs organized, all your icons and links to websites and everything all completely organized and bookmarked so you can get everything done. Like that's a lot of the work done for you. Well, the data itself is also part of that work. So, and part of like I'm just thinking too, like if I were to take all the information that I'm using and compile this information in a format, I would just have several very, very valuable books. So I can start that process and I can also just prevent this information from being lost. Because also, I think there's a high probability that if politics goes differently, then this information will get taken down off the internet. The information won't be available. I mean, what if this stuff is deemed problematic? Dissenting views. Oh no. I mean, you could look up information the government doesn't want you to know right now online. That's a very interesting thing, and that may change in the future. You could look up how to 3D print guns. You could look up syntheses for various drugs. You could look up how to grow psilocybin mushrooms, how to synthesize LSD, how to extract whatever you want, where you want. You could look up what the plants are. You could look up where to get these plants. And I'm not encouraging you to do this, but I'm just saying that this is a real thing for freedom. Like we actually have this freedom now because of this availability of information. And I think about how rare this availability is in the history of the human race. I mean, Library of Alexandria burns down. The printing press isn't developed till the 1500s. The printing press isn't developed till the 1500s, so we don't have widespread distribution of information for most of human history. And ultimately, I tend to be much more paranoid. I tend to think that things may go wrong. What if there's a solar flare and information's cut out and you lose information? What if someone just deletes YouTube? Could happen. There's a possibility a lot of this information could be deleted. There's YouTubers I know, like RSC Tyler, if you used to follow him, Owen Cook. He had tons of videos up that he got worried were politically incorrect, and he just took them down preemptively because he didn't want to get flagged for that. Old movies, for instance, too. It's like old movies that may show politically incorrect views. These are potential material for censorship. We live in an unprecedentedly uncensored time right now. And I think it's so uncensored that we're beginning to see how censored it usually is. And I don't know. I think this information is so valuable that I'm just going to devote a lot of time towards saving it. Like Maps of Meaning, downloading that and using that to educate my kids. Other YouTube videos that I think are very useful and interesting, downloading those, using them to educate my kids. Like, why not? Make a little portfolio. I mean, there's a lot. I've learned so much from YouTube. Why not download it, use it to educate my kids? I mean, it might not be up and available for free forever. Just something to consider. I mean, it's very optimistic. I think that there's basically three possibilities. Possibility number one is that the stuff is available and easy to find and free forever. Available, easy to find, and free forever. 10% chance. Option two, 60% chance. I think that the information is going to be available, but not free or very hard to find. It's free now. You can just download it. That's all it takes. Option three, the information will not be available. Maybe 30% chance of that. So 90% chance it's going to be either harder to find or I'm going to have to pay to find it. So I'm preemptively going to be a little good information forager and save all that information, like all the health information and stuff. Like just start downloading this stuff, making my own library. Why not? Why assume it's always going to be there? Why assume I'm always going to be able to find it? Why not become self-sufficient informationally? I would encourage everyone to adopt this mentality because I'm going to have the best jiu-jitsu library, the best fight library, the best wrestling library, the best health library, the best like the best library of information, like the best podcasts, the most God, my nose is itchy. The most well-informed podcasts, the most interesting lectures, all this stuff. I'm going to have all of it downloaded and I can make it into curriculum for my kids. I can sell that curriculum later. It's just all available for free right now. So why not take advantage of it? I think, too, people downloading it and having backup copies of all the stuff they like online that's free right now is going to keep it free because they're going to know, oh, well, there's no real point in taking it down because other people have backups of it. So make some backups. I mean, how much data, how much information has been lost from human history because no one cared to save it? I don't want that to be me and I don't want that to be you. So I'd encourage you to download things that you find useful off the internet and save them. Save them in encrypted clouds, save them on encrypted disks, save them on Blu-ray discs, save them on whatever it is you want to save them on. But save it. Save that information. Like, I'm going to save this information. Like, there's a lot of cool information out there. And I'm not saying that I plan on doing anything illegal. I don't. And especially if I did, I wouldn't admit to it online. It'd be really stupid. But because I never plan on doing anything illegal, I want to be really aware of all the information out there, you know? Just like, what if, like you never know what they're going to make illegal. Like, what if they just decide that no one gets to know Defense Against the Dark Arts anymore? Just leave it there. I want to know Defense Against the Dark Arts.